Good morning, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. I'm shooting a Flosstube video that's a little bit early because a lot of stuff is going on. This is video 17 and it's May 24th. So between the last time I posted and now, I've been to 2 retreats and Stitch Maynia has happened. So my life has really been all about cross stitch. Let's see, in the beginning of May, the first weekend of May, I went to the Minnesota cross stitch retreat, and Lori, textilist, and I flew out together. We got to the airport and Michelle picked us up, and on the way to the hotel, and by the way, I really appreciate that because it's a bit of a drive between the airport and Stitchville and the hotel and all the things around that area, so thank you very much, Michelle. But she said, hey, I'm gonna have to stop and feed the babies, the baby goats. Is that okay with you guys? To which we said, yeah, that's fine. We had a blast. I took a few video clips of it. They are so damn adorable. If I didn't have so much going on, I would love to have a goat, but I have way too much going on. So I'm gonna insert those clips right here. What?
Yeah, they're doing June.
Hello! Oh my goodness!
I knew that was going to happen. Oh, do you need help? No. We have to take half of them out anyways, but...
I bet Yvonne wishes she was here. Oh my god.
Oh, nice. I'm going to regret this. I think
He's okay. Oh, you're so happy, kid. Oh, you're so happy.
Oh my god, you guys make everything so hard! No, the brown ones are wet. The brown ones are medium.
Tails.
Big fatties get it.
Oh, look at those guys. They're like, dang it.
Tails didn't crack me up.
The B squad.
We've got the heads turned around. You can literally sit and watch their bellies blow up like balloons.
It's like a rugby. What do they call the rugby thing when it's like a big old...
Scrum.
A scrum. It's like a big scrum.
Oh yeah, here, that's... You grab that bucket. Sorry.
Yeah. Ivan, the dog, was in there with us, and he is the same size as Lori. So he was all over her. He's like, hey, you know, you want to play? You're my size. And all those little goats, they were like, you know, bouncing all around, and God, they're adorable. So from there we went to the hotel, checked in, and got to our stitching room. Let's see, no, we didn't get to our stitching room. We were in the lobby that night. But we, of course, you know, we're stitchers, so we can see another stitcher a mile away, and we all congregated in the lobby and chatted and got to know each other, so that was fantastic. Then on Friday, the room opened up, and we got settled into our tables. I think it was Friday that we went to Stitchville, but the table I sat at, Yvonne, the Night Owl Stitcher, was sitting next to me, and Michelle, Rudy, Farm Girl, was next to her. And then to my right was Lori, textilist. And then across the table was Kim from Canada. So this is my first experience as a floss tuber with somebody recognizing me. And so Kim comes up to me and she goes, oh, I know who you are. I know you. I watch your videos. And she's like, I know you don't know who I am, but I know who you are. And it was so funny. And she was just kind of flushed a little bit. And I adore that girl. Kim from Canada is very talented. And she is a friend for life. And what was great was Kim met Barb, the 6th person at our table, through Instagram. And they Kim came down and stayed with Barb for a few days, and they were like sisters that had lived together their whole lives. It was fantastic. Great banter. Barb, she's kind of quiet, except she would very witty. So we had a lot of fun at our table. A lot of great people. I went from table to table and stitched to try to get to meet people and know them. We had a lot of Flosstubers. We had a lot of non-Flosstubers, which are probably more important than Flosstubers, right? Because you have to have people who will watch videos for it to even matter. So I met Deb, who's Needle and Spoons on Instagram, and her sister Kathy, and Deb's daughter Kelsey. It was great to see young people there. We met, let's see, Anita and Holly were there. Candy from Candy Stitches was there. Marlene from Stitching by the Lake was there, and I adore Marlene. She helped me when there was a personal issue that came up, and she just talked with me, and I just appreciate her wise counsel. She's a very smart lady. Let's see. There's so many, Tina and Meredith, and gosh, there's so many people there. Kathy, who made, if you watched Michelle Rudy's videos, one of the smallest exchange was a box that was a farm themed. It was a widely stolen item, and that was amazing. And her daughter Sarah was there, and I just feel like there's so many people that I can't name everyone. Oh gosh, there's so many. So I apologize if I'm not naming you, because you're in my heart. I'm terrible with names. So after that, we went to Stitchville, and it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming, but it was overwhelming in a good way. We went in, and I was trying to explain to my husband, there's like these big panels that are hinged on the wall, and you flip through them, and imagine like rugs that are hung up in a rug store that show the rugs. Well, it's sort of like that, but they're panels with, 40 patterns on each side, and there were roundabouts and displays, and not just patterns, but the things the patterns go on, and the thread. And we were there for quite a while. Michelle and Marlene and Lori and I went, and it's late in the day. I want to say it was probably just before dinner, and Lori and I are sitting on the floor looking through fabric, and Marlene and Michelle were very polite, but Michelle's like, do you think maybe you're ready to go? And I'm like, no. Just this demon voice came out of my head. No, not ready. And then I said, oh, just give me a few minutes. And so Lori and I wrapped up. We were there still for a while. And then we walked over to Panera. Michelle and Marlene had gone over to eat dinner, so we went over and ate with them. But there was just, this kinsmanship, the camaraderie, the people that you feel like you've already had a conversation with them, and now you're all together. So it was amazing. I had a great time. And people you will, feel like you're friends with for life. So let's see. So let me show you some stuff. I was told recently at the last retreat, show all your stash, because I tend to edit what I show you guys. So I will try. I put some of it away. I tried to get it out, but I'll show you what I got. Okay, so at our smalls exchange, I received this one from Jean. Now, Jean and Donna are friends, and they go to the retreat. I was watching Jean stitch. She stitches in hand, and she stitches a million miles an hour. I was amazed. Like, her needles absolutely fly. And because she's sewing, she's just pretty quick, and she's sewing on smaller count fabric. I tried sewing in hand, which I do with some of my smalls, but the sewing method on a 40 count, that's what I started with, wasn't really probably a very good place to start. So I'm going to try a little bit bigger count fabric and see if I can get the hang of the sewing method. But she made this. This is, you recognize this. This is a Prairie Schooler. And look at that. She finished it with felt in the back. She's got homespun on the side and a homespun ribbon and a button. But is that not just adorable? I love it. So thank you, Jean. I felt very fortunate to get that. Let's see. So in our gift bag, we had lots of different goodies. I'm not going to have all of them, but let me just show you some things that were shared. So I got this little pin set. Is that not adorable? Look at that chicken. And Michelle made these. She said this is local honey, and they're little farm animals made into beeswaxers. There's a cow, a pig, and a rooster. So handcrafted by Michelle Rudy, Farm Girl Stitcher. All right, I got a pair of scissors that came with something. I don't remember where it was. Tina had some freebies that she shared with us, and Marlene showed this on her most recent video. I'm sorry, I'm trying to uncatch these. But these are thread keeps, and they have a charm. And look at that little goat. And she had extras, so she gave me another one, and there's a rooster. So thank you, Tina. And she also gave, she had a couple of skeins of thread, cherry tomato, and boysenberry. Is it boysenberry? Yes, boysenberry jam. And sorry, the lighting is blowing out back here, but I can't get it to cooperate. We have a couple of little needle cases. These are handy, right? You can, because there's two, I can write maybe the count on it. The needle size. A thread, a little, look at this. The pig thread keep. Adorable. A scissor fob was given by a fellow stitcher. Samplings of memories. I can't remember who gave that. Was that Tina also? A stack of Cluck Ba, Oink and Moo. A snag nabbit. And then I think Anita and Holly made these tags. And you can just attach them. They're out of cardstock. You can write on them and attach them to your project. And I'm going to do that because I feel like I'm digging constantly in my project bags. And this scissor fob came in the welcome package. Look at that. Super cute. And from, let's see, from the freebie table, so this came from, this was a freebie table item. This is for my niece who's into subversive stitching. I'm not snarky, I'm selectively polite. And then, so these are really special. Deb and Kathy brought in some patterns that their sister had who, they lost her last year. They were destashing, and these are all you and friends. Liberty. Memory Will Never Forget. Blue Lake Ranch. Joanne's Potting Shed. Look at that. Alphabet Basket. No name. No name written on it. And Rose City Sampler. Oh, this one might have been for my stash. I don't remember if that one was one I picked up or not. I might have already had that one. All the stuff, you guys. All the stuff. Then I won a door prize. Everyone got a door prize. A lot of people had received project bags, which was awesome. Like, everybody had a really, really nice door prize. I would say Michelle did a nice job as a stitcher attending a retreat. I felt there was a lot of value in the retreat. The food was amazing. The facilities were amazing. Access to Stitchville, the quality of the gift exchange, the quality of the project bags that were given away, and all of the door prizes. I thought it was really superior. Well done. Nice job, Michelle. So I think, oh, that's where these scissors came from. So my door prize included a box made by Michelle, and this is featured in the, I think it's in the Deck the Halls. I've got that. I bought it. Of course I did. I think it's in here. well, it might not be that one, but I think Blackbird Designs may have shown this, but Michelle, with all of her talent, just did a nice job. And this is really smooth. It's antiqued, and Michelle showed a strawberry that she made out of the Deck the Halls book, and it was a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So I, of course, have bought all the fabric and all the good things for that. So I can't wait to start those. And then included in that box was, this was a donation, I believe, from another stitcher. Girls Night Out, Kathy Barrick, limited edition project, and includes the silks in the back, which was very generous. I think Tina may have donated that. Thank you very much. And the scissors, these scissors were included with that as well. So nice, nice, great jobs. Let's see. Also at Stitchville, so I'll just give you a quick show of some of the things I bought at Stitchville. I picked up the Blackbird Designs book. I am just a huge Brenda Gervais fan. She's my fave, and I tell you, that woman, I might as well just hand her $100 every time she releases. The season comes along, she releases, you know, 10 patterns or whatever. But had to have them. Welcome Spring, Bloom. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to stitch this like Caroline from Off the Grid Needleworks has a friend who does all of her stuff over, instead of making it like over 1, it's like over 4. So it's going to be significantly bigger, and I'm going to make a pillow out of this, and this will be something that'll go on my bench by my front door probably. This one, Easter Peep Parade. I didn't buy this when it came out. I don't know why. It's just lovely. Lots of people have been stitching it. And then Have Ye Any Wool. So next year will either be the year for my stitch plans, will be the year of Blackbird Designs, or the year of Brenda Gervais Designs, or maybe I'll do both. I went into the back room, the room that you could get lost in, maybe have to send a search party out for you, the clearance room that has bins and bins of clearance items. Truly, I could have spent probably 3 hours just looking at the clearance items. I didn't. I quickly looked through one bin and found one chart. This is Susan Mix Reproduction Sampler. It's got strawberries and that border. Let's see, it says, most sweet are the words of a friend, and pure are the joys they impart, when truth, love, and confidence blend with virtue enthroned in the heart. Though nature exhausts her supply, she has no other sample of bliss, so nearly allied to the sky, so pure and so constant as this. Lots of words. It should go pretty quickly. Great colors, pinks and greens, and yeah, that screams my name. And then we got to the fabric shelves, and Stitchville has a great selection of fabrics. A lot of Lakeside, a lot of Picture This Plus, all the counts. And in fact, this is where I bought some smaller thread counts. So here's what I picked up. It's luscious. I love all of them. This is 40 count vintage pearl barley, which is one of my very favorite fabrics to stitch on. It just really is sort of that lightly mottled, little dirty, but not, it doesn't look like dirt. I don't know. It's gorgeous. 40 count. Looks like that's probably a quarter. Yeah, looks like a fat quarter. Stitcher's quarter. And then 40 count buttercream, another quarter. This is vintage buttercream. This is beautiful fabric. Springtime, vintage springtime. This is also 40 count. I love me some greens. Green fabric is awesome to stitch on. This is one I had not seen before, and this is vintage tundra, and it's 52 count. So what 52 count does when you put it next to 40 count is it makes 40 count look like those holes are huge. So I actually picked up a different needle to use with the high thread counts when I was at Acorns and Threads this week. So this is, I don't know if you can see that, how fine the linen is here. And then you put the 40 count next to it. They're both fine, but you can certainly see the holes a little better on the 40 count. And then some vintage light exemplar as well. All these fantastic for samplers. One of the most special gifts that I received was from Kathy. Kathy Humphreys. So her husband he's a woodsmith, I would say. And he makes gifts, but she gave me a seam ripper. And I think she made some, he made some at the last Flosstube retreat as well. It is so well made, so beautiful. I mean, the weight, it's just perfection in your hand. Truly a craftsman. Look at that. This is something you would find at like a fine needlework shop, right? Something, if I was expect to see like at a French needlework shop. Just the wood it's so pretty. I truly thank you, Kathy. It was such a generous and beautiful gift. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to move some stuff off my desk here, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the New Jersey retreat. We got a long one, so this is a good time to get a sip of a drink. I've got New Jersey retreat and Stitch Mania to catch you up on as well. All right, round 2. Let's talk about the New Jersey Flosstube retreat. McKenna and Arlene produced an amazing retreat. They gracefully handled situations as they came up. They took care of all of us, gave us amazing gifts, and really the best gift of all was the relationships built through the events that happened and the time we spent stitching together. So I really, really appreciate all the work that both Arlene and McKenna did to make this event happen. So I was home for 2 weeks, then took off for the retreat, and I think that I tried to, for 2 weeks in a row, no, 2 out of 3 weeks, I tried to cram 5 days worth of work at work into 2 or 3 days. And so it was a little challenging, and I don't know that I felt very prepared going to the New Jersey retreat because I was throwing stuff in my bag the night before. And I was working up to the evening of the retreat, of when I was gonna, before I was gonna fly out. So it was a whirlwind, but it was a lot of fun. I met a ton of stitchers. It was a big retreat. There were 80 people there. But it was a blast. So I got in on Thursday afternoon. I took off Thursday morning. When you fly West Coast to East Coast, it feels like you're flying all day because you have a time zone difference on top of the 5-hour flight. I got to the airport, took the tram to the train station, got on the train, took it to the metro station. And when I was at the metro station, I met Cheryl, the Wayside Stitcher, and we shuttled into the hotel, and it was really very easy to get there. I want to thank Diana from It Is Kismet. She put a couple of videos up that helped guide us to make it easier to get to where we're going. So coming back, we Ubered back because I had to fly out in the morning, and I just didn't want to mess with the train and potentially miss that. Let's see. So I got in Thursday. A pretty good sized group of people were already there. I want to say there was probably 20 or more. And we ate together in the hotel. We maybe enjoyed a libation or two. Just got to know each other, but there were hugs all around. There were a lot of Flosstubers. I came in and there was, I want to say McKenna was there. So Lori, Mischievous Stitches, I saw her right away. Allie Stitching Studio was there. Emily C was there. Stitching Social, Felicity Stitches, just like I could go on and on. There's so many floss tubers. And it did feel like you knew these people, right? And not everyone watched everyone's channels. So even though you might have a channel, it didn't mean that people watch. Like, so somebody came up to me and said, I don't watch your channel. Who are you? And that didn't offend me at all, because we're all different, right? And sometimes people only have a couple of videos, and if they're not shooting very frequently, I may watch it and forget that I watched it, quite frankly, because sometimes I'm doing that in the background while I'm stitching, or I'm doing housework. Let's see. So Friday, so I sat at a table with Lori, Allie, Sue, Ingeborg, Amanda, and me. So there were 6 of us. All of us were floss tubers, and for people who produce videos. And I did the same thing at this retreat that I did in Minnesota, in that I spent some time at many other tables just to meet other people. There were more tables at this particular retreat because it was bigger. So I didn't get to all of them. I may have gone to like 5 of the tables besides ours, and there were probably 9. So, and it's interesting, the energy and the people who were at the table. So one retreat was all introverts, and we would have long pauses where nobody talked. And so I'm an extrovert, and I was sort of had to be aware of that. I'm at their table, and just be careful about spending too much time engaging in conversation, to respect the kind of how that table was set up. So let's see, that Friday we went to Needleworkers Delight, and that store was also amazing. A little overwhelming. They had tons of fabric. Some of it was, if you're looking for something that seems like it's an out of print pattern and it's a very unusual fabric choice, like a table topper or table runner or damask or something that you can't find now, just call them. I bet they have it. And if they don't have it up front, they probably have it stored away somewhere. They were very accommodating, answered everyone's questions, were patient with us, were prepared for us, had goodies and snacks, and gave us a discount. And I felt like I was treated very well by this store. And I met some other people there. I met Elaine, who makes project bags, and as she's showing, and she's a stitcher there, she wasn't at the retreat, but she was dropping some off for the store to sell. And so we had a nice conversation. And so let me just show you some things I picked up at the store. I probably will just cover some of the things that came in our in our bags as well, our welcome bags. And I'll try to, I may not get everything, but I'll try to hit it as much as possible. Okay, so first, this is one of the project bags that Elaine made. And of course the colors, right? I know bees are wildly popular, but the contrast in this bag, and it is so well made. She makes these. If you're interested in this particular bag, call Needleworkers Delight and ask them if Elaine can make another bag like this, because she said she could make more. It's a nice big bag. It's bigger than the bags that I make. In fact, I might make my bags a little bit bigger because I really liked the size of this. If you open it, this is the inside fabric. And she puts a pocket with a little bit of lace in it, and it has a contrasting kind of a goldish color in there. Holds a lot of stuff, and it's nice. I think she puts probably fusible fleece in hers. Zipper front, and it has a cute little fob. So very well made. Very much recommend her project bags. All right, I'm gonna blow through some of this. Some of the other floss tubers have already covered what was in our swag bags, if you will, that came in. We have some Zweigart fabrics that came in our bags. We have a nice little accoutrement bag that has some little, they're like puppy snips. They're little scissors to take on the plane, which is fantastic. Silk lame braid. Some Weeks Dye Works, 2 are pearl cottons and 1 is a regular thread. And then this is the Karen watercolors. It's a really pretty browns and grays. It's different though. You don't pull this apart, right? So see this, it's just a bigger, it's more like a yarn than it is a thread. But you could do a kind of a fun, maybe an ornament, something that takes one color, and that would really showcase that thread. Krennic. And everybody had a piece of fabric to stitch the logo, the Flosstube Retreat New Jersey logo. I picked a 40 count. And this is Country Mocha. This is a kind that's printed on one side, not on the other. And I've never bought any of this, so this will be fun to stitch on. On the freebie table, I picked up a couple of freebies. Prairie Schooler and Little House Needleworks. My goal was to leave way more freebie stuff than take home, and I accomplished that. I had probably a couple inches of freebie stuff. We had poker chips. They were going to make these into needle minders, but it didn't work. There was something about the magnetic quality of those. So they made, Arlene and McKenna made, they didn't do it themselves. They had wooden discs made with the same logo on it. Ingeborg gifted some silk from the country she's from. The shop, I think the needlework shop that she's at, either they make it or they get it. It's gorgeous, gorgeous silk thread. I picked up not as much stuff at this particular store. Not that I could have dropped way more, but I just had to refrain. There were several designers who were having trunk shows. There was Lila Studio, Shakespeare's Peddler, Jeanette Douglas, Erica Michaels, to name a few. There were multiple trunk shows going on. So I picked up Jenny Bean's Humble Servant Sampler. The colors in this are fantastic. Okay. And this was on my list, Erica Michaels' Sweet Freedom Berry. I will try to insert a photo of the models that we saw. They had a whole display of strawberries done. And they're the Erica Michaels. I don't think they have any Blackbird designs. They're mostly Erica Michaels, but there were the big ones and the ones over silk gauze. And incredibly, so beautiful. I wanted to take them all home. Erica Michaels, Nancy Alden, 1795. All this lettering is over one. The colors in this is beautiful. I think this is the original here. You could see the colors on the model much better than on the picture. This bird though, we had a lot of conversation. He sort of looks like a pterodactyl, so I might modify him a little bit, at least make his eye a little bit smaller. Beautifully done sampler. Anne Grant, Shakespeare Peddler. And I picked up two silk waver fabrics. This is 36 count, just Edinburgh. Oh, almond is the colorway. Great sampler fabric. And clay pebble. This is really pretty. Sorry, the background lighting is just blowing out, but it is what it is. And then Saturday we did our gift exchange and the raffle, and I won at the raffle a pack of Weeks Dye Works Christmas colors. I love this. And Lori S. gave some chenille to everyone for finishing. I'm gonna have to go run up and get my Smalls gift. All right, so my exchange partner, well, she didn't get mine, but I got hers, was Lori. And she is, oh, what is her name? And, oh, please. Her channel is Once Upon a Stitch. I had to steal this from someone because we played the White Elephant, and mine was toward the end, but I was really looking for something that's spring. I have not that much in terms of spring in my house. So this is a Lizzie Kate, and it's just so joyful. I love it. I should put her initials in the year. And what I love is that we have the same initials. She's so sweet, just a sweet, joyful person. So thank you, Lori. It's such a beautiful exchange gift. I really appreciate it. All right. Whee! This is a long one, y'all. I'm going to go right into some other haul, and then I'm going to show you where I am with Stitch Mania. Stitch Mania was challenging, more challenging than I thought it would be, simply because of all of the condensed activities with retreats and work. I was pretty faithful to it for quite a while, and then I just stopped because there was no reason. I mean, I didn't even know what day we were on. So I'll show you what I did accomplish, but let me just show you a little bit of a haul. I ordered from Brenda Gervais online store. I ordered some stuff from her. This is the paper mache box used in the Summer Baltimore pattern that came out at Market. And you don't use the lid for it. It's just but it's the right size paper mache box, and she used ticking on the inside, some blue ticking. I happen to have some in my stash, so I got that from her. I also picked up that's the wrong one. This one for the Peep pattern, the one with the chick on it. And this, which goes with, oh shoot, you can either get it for, there's a Santa pattern and there's a squirrel pattern, and you paint it to the to whatever pattern you want. So if it's the Santa one, you paint it red and you can do the milk paint and, you know, rub it, antique it, or there's sort of a yellowy color for the squirrel one. So I got that for that purpose. I picked up the finishing kit for the ABC Darien project with all the 1/1s, the little rickrack and the horn book with some trim, and the box that it all goes in. So I will say this, with her projects, because she uses specific finishing, if you want to finish like hers, you can get it from her website, and she ships pretty quickly. So I got those from her. I think I got a couple of other patterns, but they've already been put away. Oh, stick with me here. Because this wasn't enough. Of course, I have my regular stash that I picked up. I got this on eBay. And I would like to thank Caroline off the Grid Needleworks for, you know, just really showing the beautiful, what's his name, Morris, William Morris design that she's working on. I saw this and I about died. This is full coverage, but aren't those colors fantastic? This is an Aranco design. You can get them off eBay. I don't know if they sell, if they have a website as well. Somebody posted this on Stash Unload. I saw it and went and ordered it. It was on eBay. I think it was like $4. My sister was really into Christmas stitching, and so I bought this for her. This, I want to say I picked up off of Stash Unloading. Sally Ann. I've never seen Sally Ann before. Home for the Holidays sampler. This one is going to be introduced into my stitching plan for this year. And then this is I'm about to have a mess here. This is another Sally Ann, and this is Legacy Sampler. So it would be easy to substitute over dyes on this and really have some beautiful colors. This calls for DMC, Anchor, or Krennic. But yeah, you could absolutely modernize this because it looks like it's dated 1992. Very pretty. The design is gorgeous. I picked this up off of eBay. Some of these Just Nan patterns, the samplers, have fantastic color. And it comes with the beads. But yeah, I really, really liked this. This is called Belmead, Just Nan. And then a stitcher posted this, I want to say it was Instagram, Sarah B. And I want to say that maybe Emily C. She asked Emily if she needed a copy, and Emily's like, "Oh, I got a copy," and I didn't see that. But I was just like, "Oh, I've been watching for this on eBay, and it doesn't come up that often." And she offered to send it to me, and I said, "You know, I'm glad to pay the fair market value of this. I have no problems paying for it." And she said, "No, just gifting it to you." So, a most noble pursuit. This is a collaboration between multiple designers, and it was released a long time ago. You can see 2006. But look at the content. It sort of has that Hawker and Hollow vibe to it with the little individual panels. I'm excited to stitch that. Hopefully, that probably will be a next year project, but I'm definitely going to, well, I might do it this year. You never know. You never know with me. Let's see. And so when I came back on Sunday, I had taken this week off from work. I'm really glad I did because I stitched all day Monday. I was sort of coming off of my retreat high, and I, as an addict would, I needed to wean off of that. So I stitched all day Monday. I pulled back on Tuesday and stitched a little bit, but I really did a lot of housework, and I stitched yesterday. And then yesterday I also drove to Oregon and met Linda Jo at Acorns and Threads, and we had dinner with Janine, but I might have picked a couple of other things up there, allegedly. I picked up some Lakeside Linens Navy Bean, and this is going to have an E Sub Rosa Christmas sampler on it. This is sort of a putty color. It's a grayish, it's a pretty, I would say it's pretty much a grayish color. It has very light modeling, fantastic for samplers. I also picked up, Lori and Janine helped me with some needles. So some of the higher count fabrics that I picked up at Stitchville, I'm like, what do you stitch with that? A 28 needle? I have no idea. And they hooked me up with these. These are very tiny little needles that you can use. And the world's smallest needle threader that goes with it. Yeah, you can see it there. So I didn't know that. I mean, I don't know if anybody else knew that, but I didn't know that, and so I thought it was worth sharing with you guys. Deck the Hall Strawberries. These are all Weeks Linens, Sanguine, Ale, Doubloon. These are all 36 count, and Putty. There's a couple more that she didn't have that she's ordering. And I blame this on Linda Jo, Nantucket Sampler. I didn't know I wanted to stitch this until I saw the model in the shop and she pointed it out. Thank you. Then we were talking about Little House Needleworks and some of the older patterns they have and some of the bigger samplers. And I was trying to think through the one I had. I thought there was like a Little House one, a little, like a Laura Ingalls samplers. I'd have to look in my stash, but Janine goes, "Oh, do you mean this one?" I'm like, "No, but I'll buy it." The Beatitudes. Look at them. Look at those little people. And their sheep, their pet sheep. Yep. This one, Aftermarket, I did have on order. It came in last month. This is by Needlework Press. I think they released it for another stitcher. But this is, I love, it's a long kind of not very tall sampler. And then the last one, this is actually, I picked this one up. I don't remember where I got it, but it's a Plum Street that I did not have, which is the Crowned Bird Sampler. Okay. I picked up some more threads. I had some of these threads, but I picked up some more for Holly, Summer at Hollyberry Farm. I'm going to stitch this on R&R Espresso. And it still smells like espresso. It's very soft, beautiful linen. So you want to see what I've been stitching? Well, let me go get it. Hold on. Okay, stay with me. We're the last leg of our journey today. So I'm going to show you the whips that I worked on and the Stitch Maynia starts that I had also. Some of them are more impressive than others. Some of them are just really, I put like 10 stitches in because that's all I could get in. It was 11 o'clock at night before I finally just said, I'm done. So here's one of the starts that I started. This is Praiseworthy Stitches Sunflower Bee Garden Sampler. And this one, I took a different tack than I normally do. I picked a hand-dyed by Stephanie Kaleidoscope to see if the colors would pop. Oops, let me go ahead and put something behind that. And they do. This is, I think, a 32 count fabric. I got this far. You can see the yellows really show. This is really good. This is going to be a bee skep. There's satin stitches. Right now it just looks like a piece of toast. This color, this fabric is fantastic. But I wanted something that really, that the design would pop on. Right, the model, I don't know what they stitched it on. It looks like some sort of a beigey kind of a linen color. So, do I have, oh, I do have the threads for that. These are the threads. I mean, look. This looks like summer. Sorry, you guys, I'm kind of a hot mess right now trying to get through this. All right, so that was a new start. I worked on that one at the Midwest Cross Stitchers Retreat. Then remember I had done some of the Little House Early Americans. I had already done Nathan Hale and his girlfriend Molly Pitcher. Those were already done. And I started and finished Freedom. I worked on this in the plane and I finished this last night. That's the center block. If you're going to do it all together, that's how I think Vonna put it together that way. This is my bigger start on Abigail Adams. I think that's a window. I think it goes that way. A window. And Martha, I put a little more into Martha's because her house is big. She needs a little more time and construction for her house. I love, these are just great at the end of the day, you know, just stitching it, stitching in hand in the car, lunchtime. I really enjoy working on these. This is Betsy Ross, and I started to work on the tree outside her house. Betsy Ross. John Hancock. This is the saddest of all little starts. Paul Revere. And I think, oh, this goes this way. This is his house. This direction. There's a front door. And then Patrick Henry. I think this goes this way. This is the bottom of that's the doorstep. Patrick Henry. I really enjoy working on these. Really, really enjoy them a lot. I'm going to make them into little pillows, pinky pillows. I don't have a dough bowl, but I saw a cubby at Michael's yesterday that was pretty amazing. It's 40% off. And these little pillows would fit beautifully in there. As Yvonne pointed out, you could put all the series in there. So I'm going to do that. All right, I also started Things Unseen. Where did I put the pattern? By Lizzie Kate. Where'd the pattern go? Oh, here it is. Y'all seen this. Lizzie Kate Things Unseen. Just got the embellishment kit at Acorns and Threads. It came with like a piece of rickrack and a little charm, and I was looking at the pattern, I'm like, it doesn't fit anywhere. That's not the embellishment kit at all. And then, so I was talking to Janine, she said sometimes they include little bits of things for your bonus pattern. I was like, oh, well, I'm done with that. That's all right. This is Legacy. I don't know if this was 36 count maybe. Legacy. I do love this fabric though. And not a bad start, not too impressive, but it was a start. I did that one day. Kitten Stitcher and Jen Stitching Niche. You guys working on everything every day. I don't know how you do that. All right, cleanup around here is going to be crazy. These are the threads that went with this. I'll show you real quick. Oh, these are gorgeous threads. Oops, come back here. The pinks and purples and greens and great colors. And then I started Wilhelmina. And it takes hickory sticks. So here I was stitching on Early Americans, and I ended up with, because I didn't stitch it over two, on like a 32 count with 2 threads, I have now way too much in terms of threads, because I changed it to a 40 count over 1, and so I don't know if I'm going to stitch the border that Vaughn has built or not. I might try and add it to the small ones. We'll see. But I thought, well, I mean, you can always use over dyed threads. So this calls for hickory sticks, and it was, I had put all of them in here. So in the Early Americans, when I was stitching on that, I'm like, where'd my hickory sticks go? Looking all around, I think maybe I dropped it in the plane. Maybe it fell out the window, you know, and landed at Priscilla's house when we flew over the Midwest. I don't know where it went. So as I'm rifling through my stuff, I found it in Wilhelmina. This is as far as I got, and that is so stinking adorable. This is stitched on a antique white, just a Swigart, I think. Well, it might be a Witchell. I don't know. I found a piece somewhere. All right, so I also started Leeds House Sampler. And let me tell you, I stitched on this more than one day. I love stitching on this. I could have just stopped Stitch Mania and stitched on it the whole time. Deb Industrious Bee on Instagram is working on her. She's a lot farther. She's got the alphabet done. But look at that. It's so pretty. And these are the threads used. They're sulky threads. They're 1 ply. You just use 1 thread. It is a little twisty. So Lori on Textiles, I started this at the Minnesota retreat. She did a little research, and the tip is, when you cut your length of thread from the spool, the end that you cut is the end that you put through the needle. So that helps reduce the twist. And you have to watch the back of your project so you don't end up with those extra little loops that nobody likes. This is stitched on 40 count platinum. Oh my God, I just love this one. Love it. Love, love, love. You know, but I feel like children, like these are children. I love all my stuff. All my projects. Some are easier than others. And then, so this is a start that I had this week. And this is Susanna Milne, 1843, Hands Across the Sea sampler. So this is interesting. I can't praise Nicola Parkman enough. She is so thorough in her research. She and her staff. I don't know how many people work with her, but she talks about Susanna and her life, and sometimes you don't really get much, right? So she's exhaustive in her research. But what I found was that She lived in Faversham, a historic market town in Kent, the beautiful garden county of England, with prime hops and barley being grown on its doorstep and an ample supply of pure water from its deep wells. Faversham became renowned for its beers. So I already like this sampler, I'm just going to say. Hops feature profusely in the meandering border of Susanna's sampler, together with vases of flowers in a large basket with an overblown rose and a daffodil. So this is, I stitched on this Monday, a little bit Tuesday and Wednesday. This border looks like it's flowers, but it's hops. And I'm stitching this on a 40 count Zweigart powder rose. It's about 224, DMC 224 is a close match. So it's a very light pink, and the green and the yellow play beautifully off the fabric. You can see the little flower vases. I love this. Like, I could not quit stitching on this. And I thought, okay, I'm just gonna get across. Then now I'm gonna go down to the length. And you can see in the middle here, there's where the saying goes, there are satin stitches inside these little boxes that are stitched, just cross stitched. The saying, I will keep the boxes. I'm going to fix this corner because it's going to drive me crazy. It's not that I don't like the saying. I'm not sure with these little lines afterwards if I really like that much. So I might change it and put like the Lord's Prayer in there. And these birds are pretty, like, I thought at first they were grasshoppers. I'm like, what the heck is that? But they're larks. She said they're larks. So as I look at the pattern and start to stitch, I might modify it just a little bit to, don't die if you're a purist, it's okay. To make it look more obviously a bird. We'll see. We'll see how lazy I am when I get to it. I might just stitch it. So those are the new starts. Those are the new starts. What have I worked on? The whips. I worked on a Peaceful Garden sampler. I couldn't remember the name of it. Okay, you've seen that before. This is being stitched on platinum. I think since the last time I showed you, I worked on this at the retreat. Some of these vases, or flowers, I should say. I can't remember what it was last time I showed you. I'm not sure if this was as far along as it. Well, it might have been. Anyway, that's what I worked on. And I got a mess going on. Last but not least, I worked on Ann Dale some more. Shakespeare's Peddler. This is so gorgeous. I love, love, love this project. These are the threads. Stitching it on Vintage Patina by Lakeside Linens. I added this silk here. This is Gloriana Coral Sunset. And so Ann Dale, Big and Beautiful, is a little bit farther along on the top. Yeah, we're done. I'm going to see if I can get over, do like I did with Susanna Milne and get over to the farthest corner so the top is shaped out. Then I just stitched the little flowers along the border. I think I'll try and do that next, is to get the border done. I'm gonna have to be careful though, because this is one you definitely don't want to get to the end and not have it meet. That would be a hair puller for sure. But this one's just a pleasure to stitch. They all are though. They all are. Let's see. Whoa, so a couple last things here. The giveaway, project bag, patterns, little paper mache from the last video. Thanks for hanging in there this long, y'all. Is the winner of Senior Ed Stitches, and I will send you a note through Instagram or YouTube. And then the last thing is that I have another giveaway. We blew past 2,000 subscribers. I'm almost at 2,500. So this is a patriotic one. I have some patterns to gift to you. I have 2 of these American samplers and I only need 1, so I'm gonna gift this one in this next giveaway. And look at the peeps on there. Sorry for the glare. ABC, again, the second one of this. This is limited, Little House 2005 limited edition. Americana sampling. I'm a patriotic person and I love patriotic stitching. And then the last one is I bought, Ken Stitcher showed this on a video, and I bought 2 of these books. I got them from the same spot, and they were produced by 2 different, or featured by 2 different organizations. This is the Country Living Needlework Collection, and there's another one that's like, I don't remember what it said. And I thought they may be 2 different, but they turned out to be identical. They just had 2 different sponsors on there. So this will also be included in the next giveaway. I loved seeing everyone's responses to the last question, which was, what is your favorite part of spring? And we had all the amazing things like the birds, the bees, the flowers, the breezes, the sunlight, all the things that you love in spring, which tell you that summer's coming along the way. For this giveaway, I'd like you to tell me your favorite 4th of July memory. 4th of July is probably my very favorite holiday, because the amount of work for a 4th of July celebration is very small compared to maybe some other holidays. It's kids outside running around. It's very special memories for my family. We lived in a small town when my kids were growing up, 300 people. The adjoining town had a 4th of July parade, and it was just packed with people who came from all over the place. And my kids were in the parade, and we barbecued, and we oftentimes camped out. So tell me your favorite 4th of July memory. Oh my gosh, this is like a huge video. I'm so sorry I kept you this long. I thank everyone who comments, everyone who shares, everyone who reaches out to me. I thank all of the people who subscribe, and the people who just visit and don't subscribe. I thank you too. Thank you for your likes. This community is so incredibly amazing, and it's only been solidified, my belief of that, through the retreats that I've been to. If you get a chance to go to a retreat, please take the opportunity to do that. But have a great rest of the month. I will post a video probably after the beginning of, probably somewhere in the middle of June, with the winner of this particular giveaway. Please don't say giveaway in your comments. You must be 18. I will ship worldwide. But I look for a video mid-month. My youngest son is graduating the beginning of the month, and we are trying to get things done because we have a big graduation party coming up, and we're rebuilding our back deck. So it'll be a month before I get another video up. Take care, love you guys, and see you next month.